Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Bone Podcast. We discuss all things crypto markets. That includes the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Hype, XRP, ASTER, XPL, all the above, meme coins, and of course, NFTs. Today, we're going to discuss the massive crypto market pump over the last 24 hours, a new $2 billion with a B Solana DAT, and which altcoins we are trading as the market heats up. Thank you all for listening. If you're listening on Spaces, give us a like, give us a comment, give us a bookmark. If you're feeling extra generous, give us a retweet. Push us out there in the algorithm. Sorry for the late start today. We had some technical issues on the Spaces side. If you're in the YouTube comments, let us know what you're looking at. What altcoins are you looking at? Which NFT strategy tokens are you holding? Let us go. Let's talk. Let's have some fun today. Before we get started, this show is brought to you in partnership with Gemini. We love Gemini. We've been working with Gemini for months now. They are the premier crypto exchange, and they have an amazing credit card product. Did you know that your normal credit card points and miles can lose value to inflation while they collect dust? Credit card companies often reduce the redemption values of your points and miles. Imagine a credit card with rewards that can grow in value. With a Gemini credit card, you can earn Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptocurrencies instantly. And guess what? No annual fees. Every swipe at the store or gas pump earns you instant rewards deposited straight into your account. Plus, if you sign up now, you get a $50 Bitcoin bonus to kickstart your rewards. Go to bodoggos.com/Gemini today. Easiest way to get into crypto. Just swipe with your Bitcoin Gemini credit card. That being said, big shout out to Gemini. We've got a special guest today. We have one of the alpha members of Greeny's trading group. He's been doing his own crypto trading groups previously. Love to watch him over there. He is an expert when it comes to TA and altcoin analysis. Welcome to the show for the first time. We got Craigscoinpurse. How you doing today, Craig?
Yo, Jim, everyone. Jim, Ray. Hello, everyone. It's evening here. What am I? Just after 11 p.m. So it's everyone who knows me knows it's beer time, man. So it's time to crack a beer and get on with the show. But look, thanks for having me. I'm a big fan of the show. I was listening to the old show, was it Nifty Portal, back when I first got started. And I used to listen to it in the car, trying to learn about NFTs back in the day. So look, just wanted to say pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on. And we timed it pretty well because Bitcoin's pumping, man. So we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, today is going to be quite the show. Lots to talk about. We talked about it pre-show. We were like, oh, we'll talk about some of the strategy tokens. It looks like the Moonbirds one is pulling back here. Well, it just completely bucked that trend. We're up to 13 mil now on an absolute giga candle here. Someone in the comments on YouTube just mentioned BIRBster there. So this one's absolutely cooking. Majors across the board are cooking. We have a lot to talk about. I'm going to run through a self-weather report real quickly. Like I don't know if I've done this one very often, but I'm going to go through the weather report. And it'll give all the news to keep you up to date. And then we are going to cut into the actual show. So here we go. Let's kick it off with a little music. There we go. All right. I'm going to try to do this all myself here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Thursday, October 2nd. Taking a look over at the crypto roundup. Majors all up on the day. Bitcoin over 119K. ETH just crossed 4,400. Solana over 225 to $226. Hype back over 49, knocking on the door of $50. First up in the news, we have a new $2 billion Solana digital asset treasury being announced from Vision Sys AI. They are listed on the NASDAQ and are partnering with Marinade Finance. They're starting with $500 million buys over the next 6 months, looking at a $2 billion target total for Solana. Love to see some buy pressure come in over there. Next up, we have a pilot program coming out of New York that is going to give low-income residents free crypto. Look at that, free crypto, a little UBI preview. Eligible participants are going to receive $12,000 worth of crypto. This program is powered by Coinbase. And finally, we have some news coming out of Plasma, as the Plasma co-founder came out and said that, hey, all of our team and investor XPL tokens are subject to 3-year lockups with a 1-year cliff. Also, they felt the need to clarify that their team is only 6% X Blast. 3 employees out of 50 worked on Blast or Blur previously. That is all for the weather report. Back to myself in the studio. Lots to unpack there. Excellent weather report as always, Ray. Let's see what we got today. I'm laughing at this Plasma stuff. Like, this is so funny. The need to come out and say, like, hey, we only have 3 Blast employees on our team. Calm down. We're not the Blast team. Like, it's so wild, the level of like FUD that Blast gets. Even like a year later at this point.
I was going to say that as well. It's quite funny that they're now going to say there's not too many on the team. Like a year ago, everyone was loving them, right? Might have been, yeah, I can't remember. Crypto time's strange, but yeah, that's a funny turn of events for Blast, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's so weird because, like, honestly, I want to hire Blast devs. They built a chain with native yield, the first chain out there, native yield, like very, very technical, like achievement, and like really cool. And now they have to be like, oh, sorry, I'm an ex-Blast developer. Like, it's like a stigma that just shouldn't exist. It's so weird to me. So
yeah,
weird.
it's funny how the markets and it's kind of goes and swings around roundabouts like that with crypto. And with crypto, it sort of speed runs, that sort of thing. Other businesses might take a decade, like Facebook, to annoy enough people, but in crypto, it's about 2 months, and a company can be the sort of the black dog of the family. So yeah, it's funny how quick it moves.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the top 100 tokens, I mean, Plasma, everything's in the green, Plasma's in the red. The number two biggest loser on the day in terms of tokens. Kind of crazy to see with how much hype this one had out of the gates. Lots of FUD surrounding it. Is it a buy the dip opportunity? I don't know. Did you get into this Plasma trade at all, Craig?
No, I didn't. I actually don't know too much about it, to be perfectly honest. I felt like, when we were just talking offline before, I was like, man, it's funny with crypto. You think you're all over everything and you aren't always. So no, I actually don't know too much about it. What's kind of the summary of it? What's the FUD? What's the hype? What's everyone worried about? What was everyone excited about?
So basically, this was a launch that there was a pre-sale back, I think, in June, where people like there was a large deposit. It's basically backed by Tether. So when the pre-sale opened in June, there was a ton of hype. They filled like $1 billion worth of deposits for their pre-sale within like 30 seconds. And then all the pre-salers were able to purchase tokens based on like how much they had deposited.
That's right.
End up being like a 20x on investment. And then they also airdropped anyone who participated roughly $10,000 worth of tokens. So what it is, it's a stable coin focused chain. I've explored it a little bit. It's a lot of like DeFi. So stable coin lending, stable coin LPing, different yields, lending, borrowing, etc. They have like a native lending vault on their homepage, essentially. Partner with all sorts of like of the standard names in DeFi, Aave, Athena, Layer Zero, Pendle, etc. Like this whole list is like a who's who of DeFi. So
it's a good list.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone's basically looking to like, well, all these platforms have like implemented their platforms on Plasma. So it was kind of like, hey, this is a stablecoin bet. One way to get exposure, like quote unquote exposure to Tether, since Tether backed them. But a lot of the FUD recently has been like, oh, well, Tether's backed a number of these stablecoin companies. Maybe it's not like they're like wonder child. Also, we saw the Blast FUD. Also, there was FUD that like the team was selling tokens. So I saw a lot of that over the last week. Caused the token price to basically drop a little over 50%. I think we got up to like $1.50 almost. Yeah. So we had a run all the way up to an all-time high here of $1.69. Now we're back under $1. So this is an interesting one. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Did you get into the pre-sale?
No. Nope. We talked about it. I thought it wasn't available for U.S. residents, but apparently you could. There was just a 1-year lockup on token. But if you participated and you like your tokens are locked for a year, they still airdropped you that 10K. So missed out on a free 10K essentially.
Yeah, I missed that one as well. Damn it.
Yeah. So they addressed the FUD. We'll see what happens here. I mean, this is a pretty like juicy pullback, like a chart like this, bouncing off the 786 on a pullback.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're bullish on it, that's probably not a bad buy zone, man. Like in the golden pockets, that's juicy. I mean, yeah, I'm a big fan of buying in that sort of that zone, provided you're bullish on the actual token itself. And I think a lot of that FUD sounds like it might be a little bit overhyped to me, just from what you've said there.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a combination of both things. I mean, the project could have been overhyped to begin with, and the FUD could also be overhyped. So what's the fair value? We'll have to see. I know it was really good timing for their launch because Tether had just announced that they're like going to be raising at like $1 trillion essentially.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Yeah.
I guess with that, we've got to wait and see where the dust settles, maybe. In saying that, like you said, good buy zone, but as we know, could still go lower. But if you are bullish on it, guys out there, that's probably not a bad spot to buy.
For sure. I'm seeing some comments here. Oh wow. Okay, so this is what happened. Here's what happened with the Moonbirds right when we kicked off the show.
Yeah, dude.
BIRB token coming soon-ish on Solana.
Yeah, so they just had their live event, I believe, in Singapore, and they've just announced this. And I think that's why you've just seen that BIRB strategy pump there, because people obviously are hyped about the floor moving up on Moonbirds organically, and thus they're going to sell from the strategy, and thus they'll burn more. But I like this, dude. I was catching up with your past streams and actually saw your one with Greeny when you guys were going over this, and I was like listening to it going, why didn't I find this sooner? Like, this is right up my alley. Right up my alley. I love this.
Yeah, let's take a look over at the Moonbirds on OpenSea. We're seeing a floor price now 4 ETH on Moonbirds. Big sweeps over the last 10 minutes. Take a look at these sales coming through. Still seeing sales at 4 ETH.
Yeah, dude, here we go.
Yeah, these things are flying.
I've got a Moonbird. I've got one of these bad boys. I only have one, unfortunately. I wish I had 3. That's my normal strategies go 3 to flip, but I've only got 1. So I got in, I don't know in ETH, but I got in at about 10K. It's about 17.5K now. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on Moonbirds itself. Spencer, is doing great things with this, isn't he? Like, compared to where they were, man. Holy crap. Amazing. Great for the space too, to see a good NFT project get led by someone decent who can actually do good things with it. I think it's good for the whole NFT market as a whole.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the utility is on the Moonbird.
Yeah, on the actual token.
Yeah,
that's always the $1 million question. There's got to be some utility, otherwise you can have a bit of an Azuki dump like we saw with that token. So Spencer seems like a smart dude, though. I think he's probably got a bit of a flywheel cooking up. I hope so. Anyway, I have to get it back on my stream. We had him a while back, and he's good value, that guy.
Yeah, he said Greeny said that, like, he came on and Greeny bought a bunch of birds, like, real cheap. I'm guessing you bought too.
I got in a bit after. I think you guys on the show actually got in a bit earlier than me. I know. I'm pretty sure. Did Easy and that get into this, and Kicks and that? Did they get into this?
I think Kicks already had a bird. He sold it before. Kicks sold his bird before he came on your show, or like the day of he came on your show.
Oh, his Pudgy sold for 65,000.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of the wrong thing.
He sold the absolute top of Pudgies, man. He did well. Yeah, I gave him shit about it, and then it pulled back 20 grand. So he had the last laugh for sure. For now, anyway.
Yeah, there's an interesting dynamic here when I'm looking at the NFT strategy token and like founders. Some of them leaned into it. I think Spencer, I don't know if he's like commented more on it, but he basically was able to launch like, hey, like, this is cool that people are innovating. I'll have like more thoughts on this. And I don't know if I've ever seen him like release more thoughts on it, but it's a kind of a tricky situation. If you're like an NFT founder and like there's like essentially your collection now is a token, whether you like it or not, like it has a token. And that token has like a certain utility. Like, so like the token utility for BIRB strategy is, hey, this thing buys and flips Moonbirds NFTs. So like, it's kind of like part of your community and you didn't ask for it necessarily. And like, I'm really curious how this actually plays into a token launching for Moonbirds. And like, does this like cannibalize a token? Does this provide extra value to the token? Like, how does this play in? That's like an interesting thought.
That was exactly, I was going to buy it just before on that dip, and I was actually in GTG and I was chatting with the guys there. And that was the exact concern I had, was if they announced a token, would it eat this one? Obviously, from the chart response there, people are bullish on it, and it kind of makes sense, right? If the news was bullish, which it obviously is with the token, because everyone's going to want one now to get the airdrop or claim. The floor's going to go up, the strategy's going to sell and burn, etc., and the flywheel's going to kick in here and probably pump this high. So I'm like, damn it, that 10 million entry. In fact, we were just talking offline before we went live, and I went, it's at 10 mil. And I was like, oh, and then 5 minutes later, the announcement came, and it's friggin' sense. I didn't even get an entry here. So, yeah, I mean, look, great. I mean, we'll see what the flywheel does here, but perfect time to to launch that particular product with that announcement coming. That was like jackpot. So yeah, well done.
Yeah, on this topic, shout out to Luke Ryan Merrick in the comments. OSF tweeted about the same kind of topic this morning. I'm just seeing it now. He says, lots of people are asking me about Rektguy Strategy, so I'll just nip this in the bud for now. The only official token we have is REKT, and we don't need more tokens. I'm not in the business of splitting liquidity. The market will have metas that come and go. It always does. Our goal is to build a proper brand that will outlive market metas and grow into its own evergreen machine. This is my conviction, and we will stick with it. I am confident. I think this is the right answer from any founder. I think this is the right answer. It's like, hey, we have plans. Like, if you're planning for a token, you just need to say like, hey, cool that these things exist. Our focus is our own token. Our own token is paramount because yeah, like, I mean, this NFT strategy launch has been like really cool and it's like invigorated the NFT market. But with any meta, like, it could go, it could disappear. Like, there could be issues with it, and I don't want to tie my brand, my collection, my work into something else necessarily. And I want to be like laser focused on providing what is like our goal and what our utility is.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, especially as a founder, like you said, like OSF with REKT. For me personally, if I was holding that token there, I'd be happy he'd said something like that. Maybe not in the short term, and a few people might be like, oh, now get the stimmy going. But I think, like what he's saying in that announcement there, for the longevity of the token, he's got to keep focused and keep the main thing. And I think as well as what he's saying is if people want to go on the side and play around and create and, you know, dev and do things and build alongside his brand, that's fine. But he's got to keep, I guess he's the captain of the ship, and he's got to keep the ship sailing forward and not focus on little side things too much. So yeah, I think that's perfectly said by him. And I agree. If I was a founder, I wouldn't be effing around too much with the side gigs like that. I'd come out and just go, look, this is great. You guys are doing shit, but all the best.
Yeah, the one thing it does make me think. So they already have a token. The strategy tokens don't really pump a token. They pump the NFT.
That's right.
You know? So like, is this like hey, like the REKT token is the most important asset versus the NFT collection? It might be, like, it could be, like, it very much so may be. But looking at this REKT chart here, I circled a couple dates here on the chart, and these were basically where they had bought back tokens. So it was almost Pico bottom where the last REKT buyback on September 25th or 26th. I did a pretty wide circle here, but this is pretty much the Pico bottom of this run. Looks like we might have had a slight bounce, and then looking at last buyback, you know, it was just a grind upwards from 70 mil, you know, all the way up to 150 before any sort of like major pullback, and then we know the run that it went on to almost a bill, so 600 mil. So I hold REKT. I continue to DCA into REKT. Just wanted to flag that, hey, like, this is looking a little interesting on this crypto bounce. This could be one of the tokens that I may be looking to add more in on this little bit of a rally here.
I agree. One of the things and we can speak about this a lot, and one of the other things I've been speaking about with people on our stream and things like that is the difference between sort of picking the leaders of coins that are kind of have run really hard versus, you know, people that are maybe looking at the laggers and like what hasn't run yet. And my kind of thesis this bull run is I'm putting my money behind the leaders, the ones that have already shown dominance, e.g. Solana, REKT. There's a few other ones as well. ETH's sort of been a lagger, but it's obviously caught up now. But rather than look for the laggers, I've been looking for the alpha sort of apex predators, and REKT is one of those. So I think that's probably not a bad call by you. I think this will see higher. I think this will pump hard, man. I think as soon as bullish momentum comes back into the market, which it's doing now, with Bitcoin just breaking 119,000 again, I think coins like REKT are going to ascend. I think coins like PENGU are going to ascend as well. They led the market, Solana possibly as well. So I think we're in for a really, really great Q4, man. I was sort of wondering whether it would be delayed, but we could be right on time. It was like 1st of October for me here in Australia, and the whole market started pumping thanks to Bitcoin. I was like, I can't believe it went on the 1st of the month. I was like, it didn't even make me wait. It's amazing. This is great.
There were lots of bears in the weeds that were saying, hey, we're in some trouble. We're going down. Looking at the total crypto market cap, we have absolutely shot back up over 4 trillion, 4.1 trillion. 4.13 was kind of like Pico top. Looking back was that 18th of last month. So we are on our way back, and we're pushing towards altcoin season. Lots of gains in the alts here, looking at 66 out of 100. Yesterday, this was almost full Bitcoin. So like, it's crazy to see the bounce back of alts. Fear and greed right in the middle. This is like almost approaching fear yesterday as Bitcoin was 119. So
I know, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I think it fell all the way back down to, I can't remember if it was 28. It wasn't far off extreme fear. And I was thinking, wow, fear approaching Q4 in a bull run is actually very bullish for me. I think the sentiment completely reset. And I think that's probably the reason we're going to go a lot higher, because I think there's a lot of people still sidelined just from the group chats I'm in, and how bearish people were just made me lick my lips. I'm like, man, this doesn't look or feel like the top at all. Like, and this is only my second bull run. So, you know, I've got a bit of learning to do still, but I was just thinking to myself and saying it in GTG, this doesn't feel, smell anything like the top. And, you know, hopefully Bitcoin pushes higher. It could always pull back still, but man, Q4 is looking like a dream. And historically, we've seen some great gains over this period. So I'm very bullish, dude. And after that sentiment reset we just had, send it. I'm ready to go. My bags are packed.
Yeah, I don't know if you could like really draw a better setup too. Like, people are saying like I don't know, there's a lot of chop. There was like a lot of like negative sentiment on the timeline, but things can't just go up only forever. Like,
no.
So it's like we had these legs up earlier this year, last year, the election, earlier this year, we had these legs up to new all-time highs and like retested it a couple times. And like, in the grand scheme of things, this isn't a ton of chop that we had to like sustain. You know, this is July, August, September. Like, these are like the doldrums when like people are getting back into desks and TradFi. Like, we were always expecting Q4, and now all of a sudden Q4 hits, and we're starting a rally, and everyone's like, oh man, like everyone was wrong. Like, it's like, well, we were all kind of just calling for this from the beginning. It was a bullish Q4. So hopefully this rally maintains. But I mean, I've been perpetually bullish with everything that's happened with crypto. It's like we've hit a point of almost, I want to say, like no return, where like we've done enough legislation, we've had enough money injected into the system. It's become so ingrained into traditional finance that we're just not going to see an FTX level debacle, barring like a black swan that like affects like the overall infrastructure of Bitcoin. Like, an exploit on Bitcoin is like what would happen for me to like sit here and say like, okay, well, that wasn't expected. But I can't.
I totally agree. Or black swan where the whole internet goes down for a moment in time or something like that. But even then, it will come back on, right? And Bitcoin will live on. So, no, I think we're in for a great Q4 and say it's delayed, a great Q1 next year. But I mean, looking at the movement here, man, yeah, buckle up, guys. I think we're in for a great Q4, and you're going to see more and more people come back to the timeline. You know, even myself, I've been noticing more people starting to come back even to the streams now. They kind of dropped off for a little while when it got a little bit bearish. Obviously, when the price goes down, people sort of drop off the streams. But I'm noticing now the timeline's starting to get a little bit busier again. Obviously, with all those strategies, I mean, with the NFTs starting to move again, that's normally a pretty good sign. Alts are starting to move. Even the old meme coins, Ray, you know, we've seen MOG today pump, I think, 20%. Pepe's pumped as well. So sort of the older ETH, I don't want to call them dino memes, but you know, for some of the people in the room, they may feel like that. But they're starting to move now, man. So Doge, I'm a big Dogecoin,
17%.
Yeah, dude, it's going. Like all the leaders from earlier in the year or last year starting to pop, and that's what I've been waiting for the big dogs to kind of take over. And I know people have been waiting a long time, say for MOG or Pepe to go. But even Pepe looks pretty good chart-wise. I've been buying that on the lows. I think that could move. But it may be getting to that point of the cycle, man, where you could literally throw dart at the dartboard and probably be right. That's what it was like in 21 when the bull run kicked with alts. You didn't have to be very good at trading to get a win there. Even I got wins, and I was completely green to it. So I'm very excited to have a Q4 in a bull run when it's my second time round. I can sort of keep my head this time and maybe take a bit of profit this time, Ray, because last time I left the house on the table and had to tell my wife that, and that wasn't the best thing to have to tell my wife. So this time I'm looking to I need a new kitchen, Ray. So yeah, I need this to pump. I told my wife we're getting a new kitchen soon, so hopefully Ordinals pay for that. Or actually, it's my big Pudgy that will pay for the kitchen this time. Puppets paid for the bathroom, and we'll get the Pudgies to pay for the kitchen.
I love it. Just attributing the NFT sales to the renovations. So I'm curious. I didn't really trade altcoins last cycle. I made most of my wins on all my wins really on NFTs last cycle.
Yeah.
My biggest hits last cycle were like Worldwide Webland, Azuki, Other Deeds, and Moonbirds. I'd say were probably like my biggest hits last year. Were you trading tokens last year as well, or were you mainly NFTs or like?
I was all, yeah, I was Bitcoin, I was alts, I was NFTs. Yeah, no, I got my hands real dirty. No, I was trading all that stuff. I was even trading bloody VV NFTs, if you want to call them that, with the Batman stuff and Superman. That's why I made quite a lot of money, because I was quite early to that. So I made a decent amount anyway, but that's also where I left a lot of money on the table. So that's why we scream to people, don't try to time the top, scale out, take profit, change your life, make your life better. Your online digital balance doesn't always equate to IRL success. So make sure you take profit. Make sure you actually put it into fiat, change your life, buy a new kitchen, new house, new car, whatever. Get your wife something nice, whatever you got to do, but actually make this real world better, not just digital.
Yeah, I agree. Shout out to Ellie and the crowd. Solana's been a great sponsor for the house I'm building right now. Love to see it. Love to see wins in the crowd here.
Yeah, dude. Solana was great. Great.
I missed that trade. I've never been like a very excellent token trader. Like I've had some token wins, but like it's like very hit or miss. I probably like I really was good at NFTs, and I was really good at like finding opportunities like that weren't necessarily consensus early. Or getting into like finding ways to get into like hyped mints was kind of like where I found most of my success. Yeah, also proof.
There's a bit of a skill even in finding sort of, I'd call almost buried treasure, like you're kind of talking about, where it's kind of the stuff's not hyped, but you're kind of digging around, and you just got a kind of a gut instinct that sort of says maybe this will work. I think that's a skill in itself. You can obviously trade on fundamentals. You can trade on TA. I know Kix is a pretty big fundamentals guy. Obviously, Greeny's a big TA guy. I'm kind of in between the two. I'm kind of a hybrid. Greeny's pretty ruthless with the way he trades. I'm a bit more forgiving in my trades, e.g. my stop losses aren't as severe. I'm not futures like Greeny. I'm spots. I'm a spot trader. I tend to swing trade things. So Bitcoin's been an absolute pleasure since 23 for me. I've swung trade that. Like I've had that like a dog in a leash, man. So hopefully that keeps, universe keep me on the green with Bitcoin. But no, I did trade a lot of tokens last bull run, and I've made a conscious effort to trade a lot less this bull run. I was sort of like a Boy Scout. I had just about every altcoin badge on my chest last bull run. I had about 50. I was watching charts at the same time. Way too many for a new person. So this time I'm sitting on about maybe 10 coins, 10 tokens, if you want to call it that. Probably a bit more if you count all the abstract ones. But I've made sure this time I can kind of keep a bit more laser focus without watching 50 charts, because that was just way too much, man, for me. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm curious. You said you have about 10 tokens. What are the tokens you're most bullish on right now in terms of altcoins? I mean, obviously, we're all bullish on like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, the majors. What else down the risk curve are you bullish on coming into Q4?
Yeah, cool. So probably one of the ones that kind of lagged, that I was heavy into this, and then I exited out of a bit of frustration. Actually, AVAX, which I know you guys are quite big on and have been for quite some time. So I was a big AVAX bull since 21, actually. So AVAX and Joe as well, which is obviously the Dex's coin over there for AVAX. So similar play to Solana and Ray. I made quite a good trade on Ray. And I was hoping to do the same on Joe, but it didn't end up adding up. But AVAX, I'm liking the look of the chart at the moment for AVAX. Joe's obviously the DEX there for the main DEX for AVAX. But yeah, AVAX itself had a little breakout recently, and I do like the way it looks. It's got a lot of work to do, but I do not mind that chart. And provided Bitcoin doesn't shit the bed, I think AVAX could actually be one of the ones that's lagged that actually does pump. So I don't mind AVAX. Another one for me, just to run through quickly, because I know we might be getting short on time, would be Hype.
Also, Joe, not Joe. Also, AVAX has the treasuries that they've announced. So
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So
there's a lot of buy pressure coming with treasuries potentially.
Okay, yeah, I do like. I like the gaming sort of angle they take. I'm a big fan of that. Obviously, Hyperliquid or Hype. I'm not in a couple of these. I'm not in AVAX. I'm not in at the moment. Hype, I'm not in, but I want in. but this bounced pretty nicely. Pump, I'm big on. PENGU and ASTER, which are probably the ones everyone's talking about at the moment. But I like the setup on Pump, man. I don't mind this. Obviously, ASTER took a lot of the shine off this just for a little while, but the recovery we've seen, I think, looks good. And I actually think the two can coexist. I don't necessarily think it's have to eat each other. But yeah, yeah, ASTER I don't mind either. That's had a nice little bump. That had a nice bounce off. I think it was the 50% level. So I probably should have got in there if I was going to get into it. But that's a coin. I think this will continue to run as long as CZ does his thing. But certainly Hype and Pump I'm bullish on. And then ASTER, if CZ keeps doing his thing, I mean, he's about as good as it gets for a Cole. So him and Elon, I think's lost a little bit of his shine, but I think CZ's still got a bit of, I think he's got a lot of momentum, a lot of pull, and I think he can move markets, right? Look what he's done to this. So yeah, I faded this, and I really regret fading this, but it's one of those things, it comes down to how much liquidity you have, having your mind over so many charts. But this was a great trade. Did you get into this, right?
Yeah, I did some some trading on the way up, but didn't really get profits. My biggest win was along here.
Yeah.
Along here all the way to the Pico top. And then I'm in it now currently. I was trying to do something similar because I was looking at the setup and it looked kind of like a similar setup, and I longed here. So I'm a little underwater on this. I'm still holding it. I think that we do see it because if you look at this setup here, like this dip to run here, I'm seeing a lot of this. We saw this in the 4 hour initially, and now it's been kind of almost played back again on the 1 day, where we saw the dip and then a little bit of strength today. So I'm going to continue to ride this ASTER long and hope to get new all-time highs. Maybe I think I have a line here at 333 all-time high.
That's good, man. I think that pump and retest to the 50% there is as good as, that's exactly what you want. And pull back to the 50% what's at $1.53, pull back for two nice wicks there, bang up, broken above the fib. And what's it above the 618 now? Dude, I think your long might be all right here. I think you actually might get out of the water. And if Bitcoin continues to do what it's doing, it's going to drag everything else up with it. So I think you're probably all right there. But I think all of those, Hype, I think Hype and ASTER, sorry, I compared Pump and ASTER before. Hype and ASTER, I think the two can both move together upwards. I don't think it necessarily has to be a competition. And then, like I said, I do also still like Pump. It's kind of got out of favor on the timeline. There's not a lot being said about it as much now. But I was just looking before I jumped on the show, and I was looking at the chart, and I was like, man, the chart looks good. The chart's strong. It's obviously bounced pretty hard. So entry-wise, maybe not the best, but it's certainly looking pretty good. So I'm a big fan. I think that probably does continue higher. I like the breakout. I like the shape of the token, and then obviously PENGU as well. I think you guys looked at it on the show the other day, but this setup for me is glorious, man. I love these sort of setups. So looking like it could end up being a pretty, I mean, on that sort of time frame, it doesn't quite look like a sexy cup and handle, but on the weekly, it looks a bit more like that. But I think looking at it, I think this continues higher.
Nice on the weekly.
Hey, what's that, sir?
It looks nice on the weekly there, yeah.
Yeah, it's got a nice little breakout forming here, and it has broken out of resistance. So I'm very bullish on this. I've got a decent bag of PENGU, and I've been sort of DCAing in on this dip here. I bought the bottom, not quite the bottom, but near the bottom, and sold near the top. Not all of it. I do hold a fair bit, and now I'm looking to DCA back into this bad boy. I just think with Q4 coming up, hard to fade Luca, man. The dude's just making all the right moves, says the right things, has the right connections, has a shitload of money now. I don't know if I need any more than that. That's good enough for me, man. Fundamentals at this time of the bull run, I think you can almost throw fundamentals out the window. It's one of those periods where people are going to get stupid. It's going to get frothy, and people just want good marketers to come out and say the right stuff. The fundamentals, although I'm a big fundamentals guy, I just think at this stage of the bull run, they just aren't as important. They aren't as important right now. I think bear run fundamentals are more important. Bull runs, just keep serving those delicious sweet treats to me, man. Just tell me lies, Ray. Just lie to me if you're a founder. I don't even care anymore.
Greedy, I'm not greedy. Sorry, Craig. I love your and Greeny's just bullishness right now. It just on everything. It's so good. The attitude is infectious. You're talking about PENGU. We talked about abstract a good amount yesterday. Are you in any of the abstract tokens? You do some streaming over there as well?
Yeah, I stream on Abstract. So the daily stream we do on GC Crypto TV, sorry, we do stream on Abstract as well, so YouTube and X and all that. Abstract tokens I'm in would be the main ones you know about, actually. I'm sure Eli's rammed these down your throats. Excuse me, but obviously Dog I'm a fan of.
We bought some Dog yesterday. We're up on it.
Good man. That's pumping, dude. That's pumping. So it's had a nice bounce. I think it went up about 20% today or something. It might have pulled back a little now, but yeah, big fan of this token. I know the team to a certain degree. I like the artist. They're good people. Good people doesn't always equal price go up, but sometimes it does. Rektguy I like as well. I think it's one of the few memes on Abstract that actually is edgy or funny. Abstract for me, the memes on there at the moment are pretty cutesy, or they were pretty cutesy, and they were probably a bit lame for a lot of people. Obviously, with everything was a penguin for a while. I liked Rektguy just because it was just the evil side of the penguins, and I just thought that the timeline's classic, and also the chart looked good. So I'm in Dog, I'm in Rektguy, I'm in KONA, which you're in as well. That's had a big pullback, and it hasn't really recovered quite yet. I'm a fan of that. Just because I like the meme on that one, it's pretty funny. And then I'm in a little bit of SMP. But the main ones I like, man, to be honest with you, would be Dog, Rektguy, and KONA probably would be my main ones, apart from PENGU. And Cyclops. I'm not actually in Cyclops, but I really should be.
That's my big one. I've been in this one early.
Yeah, this is a good one, dude. I think this is a good hold. I'm actually getting Death on the stream. I think next week he's jumping on with me. Great guy. He's got a great product. The dude just keeps shipping. And if there's founders out there, just keep shipping and keep turning up, I'll back you. So look, I don't think it's not exactly his token, but it's obviously based on his one-eyed cat. But he supports it at least. So I'm a fan of that, and I think you're smart for being in there. That's about
you turned me on the one yesterday that I bought live on stream, basically sight unseen. It was like the decks on there, KONA. This one's up decent. We bought this yesterday on the show at like 750. So we're up
that's
25%. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they've recently announced an Abstract. You guys probably spoke about it, but obviously for liquidity providers now, they can earn XP. So you're going to get DeFi coming across there, but you're also going to get average Joes, maybe like me or you, actually providing liquidity to these meme coins. Which one of the biggest issues with Abstract obviously was liquidity. So if you're a whale and you come in and you buy up, you almost couldn't get out because the liquidity was so low. So the slippage was humongous. You were copying big losses. You almost were better selling OTC. So there was a bit of a disadvantage then. I can certainly see why Solana bulls and Ethereum bulls / Memecoin traders weren't coming over yet, because if you want to dump decent amount of money in, you just couldn't really, because the liquidity wasn't there. But now that they've decided to give XP and incentivize it, you're going to start to see a switch now. And I actually think you're going to see that TVL grow on Abstract pretty quickly. It had a big dip. I think it halved in a month. So we are on a bit of a dip with the Abstract TVL, but it's on its way up now. And it's finally bottomed. So for the people out there that are perhaps not in Abstract and are looking for an airdrop / claim come Q4, Q1, probably not a bad time to enter, dude. It's probably a good time, because I think meme coins from here will probably appreciate from here, meaning that you're probably going to get good entries. You're probably going to make money on the memes, not financial advice, please, guys. And you're probably going to earn a pretty good claim come Q4, Q1 next year. Luke obviously hasn't said exactly when it is. He said it's market dependent, but hey, look, with Bitcoin approaching not far off an all-time high at the start of October, I think things are looking pretty bloody good for dropping tokens in the next sort of 3 months. So it's up 10% almost on the day. It went all the way down to, I think, about 20 mil, 19, 20. So it was a big dip from, I think it went down from 50, dude. So I must admit that sucked writing that. I wrote that. I had to sit on my hands for that. And it's not a pleasant feeling. I'm sure Eli felt the same. You can even see stablecoins moving. Fees paid are starting to go up now as well with the DEXs coming, the liquidity pools coming there. So I think that was a massive call by the team to do that. I think it was a good call. And I also like the fact, the other thing the team mentioned was they were kind of taking a step back from gatekeeping meme coins. So the team has come out and said, okay, guys, we're going to let you just play, right? So I think that's probably a good move, because I think with crypto, I understand with the gaming side why they want to protect retail with the portal, with the games and things like that. But I think with meme coins, there's probably a little bit of more of an understanding that, you know, play at your own risk. Whereas games, you don't want people getting rugged, you don't want people getting, you know, fished or whatever it might be. Whereas with meme coins, I think I don't mind that their team saying, guys, come and play, do your thing. We're going to let you do whatever you like, kind of thing. So I think that's probably changed the mentality of people now. And obviously now, like I said, with the liquidity coming over there and perhaps DeFi, I'm hoping Ethereum and Solana whales might start to say, oh, there might be an opportunity here. So I'm bullish on abstract. At the same time, I think be careful. Don't just pile in, guys. If you just heard my take there, just go slow, saying slowly. Don't full clip, please. Probably don't do that. But I think abstract's going to be a cook come Q4, along with probably OpenSea and maybe even Myriad as well. Ray, there's some great airdrop claims coming up. Yeet as well. Obviously, channel partner with you guys, channel partner with us. Love those guys. They're doing a token. So man, there's just so much potentially free money coming our way. I'm just like, let's go, man. I'm dude. In Bitcoin, you can see I'm so broke. When Bitcoin broke, was it above 117,000? I was like, let's go. I said to my wife, I'll tell you a quick story. I said to my wife last night, if and when Bitcoin hits 150,000, I'm going to the bottle shop. I'm going to buy a really nice bottle of something, and I'm going to put on country music. I don't even listen to it. And I'm going to open the bottle. I'm going to walk around my lounge all day, just sipping straight from the bottle, dancing to country music, because I'm going to be that euphoric. I'm going to put on Daisy Dukes, and I'm going to, man, I don't know, Ray. I don't know if I'll stream it or not, but I'm going to be euphoric as hell, man. You won't find someone's head pop as big as this head, man. I'm ready to go.
I was going to say, I'll be looking forward to that stream. I'm going to go down the risk curve a little bit. I bought this $1 million market cap meme, and I think it has continued room to run. Have you seen the sombrero memes?
I have not.
The White House posted on Twitter. Basically put a sombrero on one of the Democrats, basically with the government shutdown. One of the big shelling points is providing health care to immigrants, essentially. And they're essentially saying it's wild that we're at this level. It feels like we're living in an idiocracy, that the White House is posting AI generated memes of Democratic world leaders on their official X account. But I just laughed at this, and I was like, if this shutdown continues to run, this meme is going to continue to be posted by both the White House and by Trump. So I bought in this morning, and I'm already up.
Ray? What chain? Where are we?
This is Rhythm. So this is Solana.
Solana. Solana. Yeah. I'm like, where the hell are we?
So this is Rhythm. It's we partner with them. Best trading bot for discovery. They have algorithms that surface the top token. So if you're someone that doesn't pop in the trenches all the time, like me, the last couple of weeks, I can just pop in here and I can see hey, here's what's kind of trending. Here's what's been pretty big. And then if you're sitting there kind of watching, they have this thing called First Wave, where they automatically filter out tokens that could have issues with bundling, sniping, percentage owned. It does all that for you, and then serves you up a curated list of hey, here are some tokens that you might want to do some diligence on that have released in the last 24 hours. So love using this platform. And that's basically where I do all my Solana trading. So I just wanted to surface sombrero, and then also look, this is higher market cap. I was in this one and out of this one a few times. I bought this one again yesterday. People are saying this is a Pornhub adjacent meme coin that just hasn't been revealed yet. It's sitting at 80 million. It basically launched and ran to 50 million immediately. It's on Moonit, which is a little different than some of the other tokens. So maybe that platform looks to push it a little bit harder. But if they do have some sort of official announcement, I took a little bit of a shot here at basically this level. So a couple meme coins I wanted to share that I've been trading that I feel decent about. I know one's low market cap that I'm already up on. For Sombrero, I have basically an initials out at 4x. So I'm still 25% of my tokens at a 4x. Maybe there's a crazy post, it wicks there. I'm initials and I'm running a free trade. So I want to go down the risk curve a little bit. I know we have some degens in the audience, and wanted to share what I've been doing on chain outside of the majors there.
Anything else you're looking at, right? Any other real degen plays? I haven't actually looked at Solana memes for ages.
I missed out completely. We talked about it yesterday on the addicted fund play, that weed airdrop or the weed token. So
Same.
it's like a big coin clone. Yeah, I absolutely missed it. I sent Eli a message thinking it was on Abstract. I was like, hey, is this decent? And it was at like, I don't know.
What did you guys miss out on about a 15x? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, at least. Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Damn. And Eli talked you out of it, I heard.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really talk me out of it. I just asked him if he's in it. Like, should I be buying this? Oh, yeah, here's what I like. I talked about this yesterday. We saw like some initial strength. You know how I love buying initial strength if you listen to this show. But ZORA and Docker are both interesting to me. Looking at ZORA chart right now, we've had a pretty decent candle on the day, up 22% over the last 24 hours. We were kind of kicking ourselves when we didn't enter ZORA ahead of like kind of like the Creator Capital Markets talk last time on the show here. I'm wondering if we're going to see a similar setup here because we're seeing the base token BTs. We're seeing like, hey, creating on base is big. And we said this like time and time again on the show, like, hey, if you're out there and you're looking for a risk-free way to be eligible for a base token, I would make a ZORA account and make a coin, especially if you're someone who's not like worried about like your online presence, etc.
Right.
Like it's a risk-free way to essentially qualify, I imagine. And then going down even further down the risk curve, I bought Docker last run up, and I think Docker continues to be an interesting beta on it that could potentially be like a leverage bet on both the base token ecosystem and ZORA as a whole. We saw some strength here.
That's right.
Yeah. So I own some of this. This is basically like a ZORA sort of like treasury strategy. Like they buy other ZORA tokens and like sell them, burn their token. Popping over to ZORA, they're looking at top creators. This has continued to be an all-time low on creators over $1 million market cap. Visualized value, Jack Butcher, number 6 at 1.9 million. Only 6 tokens are above 1 million right now. Docker being the second highest, Balaji being the first highest at 3.3. I believe he ran all the way up over 10, maybe even higher during his like real big run up when he tweeted about it. Let's go to all. Yeah, he ran up to almost 20 million. So, I mean, base clearly wants ZORA to succeed. They've like done this time and time again. They're pushing coin everything on ZORA. And the fact that the total market cap of the top 6 is under 20 million is just kind of a little bit bananas. I don't know how to play it. Like, so I think some ZORA token is a way to do it, but I think there is some sort of trade here. And I'm basically thinking it's going to be Docker. I own a lot of these, like a basket, but the majority is going to be in Docker for me. So that's my thought process with ZORA, potentially front running this before it gets kind of crazy. But you know, everything's risky. It might not pan out. But
yeah, I haven't really come over and played with this. I think I was checking out ZORA, if my memory's right, quite a while ago. Was it ZORA?
I mean, ZORA's been around for a while in many different forms.
I thought so. I'm pretty sure. Was Rektguy big onto it about a year ago? Was it him? And where was that DGen token? Where the fuck was that?
DGen's on base. They launched their own chain.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember now. Anyway, I was mucking around on here for a while because there was a lot of artists doing mints. Was it artists doing mints over here, like Jack Butcher and stuff? So I did.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so I mucked around and actually did it right. I think that was about a year ago I mucked around, but I haven't played around with tokens. I didn't even know they were doing that, to be honest.
Yeah, so like they're trying to be like sort of like a tokenized Instagram is kind of like the current play. Gotcha.
And if you as a creator, do you have to launch a token here or not? Not so much. You don't.
I mean, I just launched a token to be eligible. I'm not worried about people buying or selling this token. It's 8K market cap. Don't buy the token, and it's simple as that. You know, I just tell people not to buy it. I'm doing it for the airdrop. So
yeah, please don't touch this.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I see what you're saying. There could be some good cooks there for the right creators that want to actually push it.
Yeah. So like you're looking for a niche that maybe you want to spend some attention in that other people might not be looking at. It might be just like looking at new ZORA creators. I know Ultra, OX Ultra has a dashboard and a Telegram bot for this, for new launches. I subscribe to the Telegram bot, and basically it's like whenever somebody over X followers joins ZORA and coins something, it'll ping that Telegram. So
we had that when Friendtech was around, and when people came and they started a Friendtech, I get a notification go buy up their keys. Reminds me of Friendtech days.
Yeah, showing it on screen now for anyone just listening. Zorascan.xultra.fun is the dashboard site, and at the top there's a list to get the Telegram invite for alerts for anyone with more than 5,000 followers. So it could be alpha there. You can see like who's launching tokens. You can filter by smart followers, like who has 50 smart followers and launch a token. You can immediately see, okay, Josh Crypto, Mr. Miyagi. These three have launched in the last 10 hours. And you also, if you have the Ethos,
yep.
I don't know if this is coming. No, I don't have the add-on. He has this automatically added into the site, which is cool. So you can see Ethos ratings as well to see, like, okay, hey, this guy is like somebody who's respected and he's launching a coin on Zora. Maybe this is one that's interesting.
Have there been some pretty good runners on here?
There were last time we ran up. I mean, I showed you.
What was the sort of market cap? Oh, sorry, you were showing me. Yeah,
Doctor was a big buck too at some point. Like this thing ran to, I guess it only ran to 5 million. But some of them also like fell off. There was like Zeem, there was like Fake Taxi. ZXPT is another interesting one. This is like an on-chain artist.
Okay.
You can make up your own theses around this. This one ran to 15 mil.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this a number of times. I bought like the first piece he owns. You can also like, you can buy them. You can also buy like the actual posts. So I also own some of the actual first post he made too. So like you can do a couple creative things with Zora.
That's quite cool.
I think there's going to be some sort of run on this if there's a base airdrop, especially closer to the base airdrop. So maybe getting some dust across a couple plays while there's not attention could pay out.
So it's kind of like what you were saying, what Instagram, but they've pretty much tokenized everything. The creator can tokenize themselves. They can obviously drop art there, whatever they like. And what you were saying, you bought the first post. Did you? Yeah.
The artist's first post. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gnarly. Jeez, people think of anything now. I'm like, fuck, there's money everywhere. There's development on this recent drop. Yeah, I haven't really kept up with Jack Butcher lately, to be honest. I got in that real early. I got in checks and OPEPE for 0.007.
Checks have been moving. I want to cover this first.
Yeah, checks are great, man. Shout out to Jack for that. Fuck, it was great.
He announced a token. Yeah, so ERC20 token. So he had the Gas Wars Mint. It was the second to last Art Blocks curated mint that took place a few weeks back. And essentially it was a 500 supply collection. Like the goal was to make it like a gas war to get the pieces. It ended up being like a 0.2 to 0.25 mint, including gas, if you're able to get one. But anyone who failed a transaction because they didn't have enough gas is going to get a piece of this new ERC20 token. But it's kind of cool. It's kind of like I mean, it's not really a true ERC20 in like the sense that we're trading tokens because it's not divisible. So there's only 1482 of these. They're more like NFTs. They're more fungible because you can't divide them infinitely like you can a token.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
One thing about this though is if you use MetaMask has like a kind of like weird setup for like failed gas transactions. Like they don't send the transaction through necessarily from your wallet. So MetaMask users, I'm hearing a number of people kind of got like left out of this, which is
gotcha. Oh yeah, dude, that sucks. Well, they've announced a token, haven't they? MetaMask, they're going to be doing something.
Keep seeing teases of that like coming soon. Like, hey, it's coming sooner than you think.
Man, that if they do that, hopefully they. I mean, I don't know if they'll be very generous to us users of the wallet since in the 21 bull run for NFTs, but man, I'd love it if they did. What's going on? Just quickly, I wanted to ask Ray. Do you know much about what's it called, Critters?
Yeah, so there's a mint. There's a mint going on. I don't know if it's live right now. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm thinking it is.
Launched on Solana. It's been heavily. I think probably Beanie's an investor.
Yeah, I saw him. It's about 250 US, I think.
Oh, it's public right now.
Yeah, it's gone to public. Yeah, 276. Yeah, I thought about minting one. I probably will. I don't know anything about it. That's why I was sort of asking you. I'm like, what is this NFT? I mean, Beanie, love him or hate him. He does have his eye on the ball with a few things. So I might actually cop one of those as well.
Yeah. Actually, we'll get some more.
It looked interesting. I had a look at what it kind of was. It's sort of gacha with spins, and there was a fair bit to it. Actually, it was a bit layered. So I'm probably just going to cop one because same as you, Ray. I can't resist a mint. Can't resist a lotto ticket.
Yeah. I mean, this is like everyone just saw the amount of diligence that happened here, but like this is mainly a play. This is mainly a play that I'm making. I just minted a bunch for those just listening. This is mainly a play on Beanie being like very successful. And Critters was successful in Solana, and it was a slower mint. Like Critters didn't mint out immediately, and then like provided pretty massive returns on investment for that. I know we talked about in Bodogos. A lot of the Bodogos got into that mint as well.
Okay.
So I'm excited to mint this one. Cool that they partnered up with OpenSea. I saw Adam Hollander and Beanie going back and forth on the timeline. They used to be like pretty at each other's throats, but for this mint, they put their swords down. They crossed lines and they hugged it out, which was cool to see.
I did see that on the timeline. Good on Adam for just I thought he put up a pretty nice post actually about it. He was pretty good. And I thought it was pretty cool to see OpenSea supported as well. I'm gonna mint as well, Ray, after seeing you do that. I better get in before friggin' everyone dives in now watching on the show. But I did see I had a look at kind of what they had behind it. There was quite a bit to it. It's not just a NFT. There's quite a bit to it, a bit of a gamification for it. So I was like, you know what? It's the bull run. Bull run, I reckon you just got to mint in the bull run. Like it's that time of the season where you just got to go, get rid of your brain and just do stupid shit. Not financial advice, everyone. Don't do real stupid shit. But if you've got a bit of spare money, this may be all right. Maybe a cook might not. But I'm the same as you, Ray. Beanie, love him or hate him. I think he can move markets a little bit. So yeah, I won't fade. I don't think I'll fade that. I might get into that, and hopefully Beanie just shills the living hell out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he will, and I think we'll see some success here. That's the hope, or at least it's not too much of a risk in terms of price action there. I'm pulling up the last time we did something like this, which was Collector Crypt. We bought the Moonbirds after Clemente talked about them on the show. I'm curious what these are at. I think I still hold like 13 of these. So 1.8 Solana on these. With Solana's at 125. Curious how we're doing. Or sorry, 225. $400. I think these are still pretty up pretty nicely from where they were minted. So we're seeing this blind box meta go on with the 12 packs.
What was the mint price of that again, right? What was it? One or was it less? Was it less than one Solana?
It was in USD.
That's right.
Yeah, I need to double check what it was, but I know it was less than $400 per 12 pack. I want to say it was closer to $300. So those are up nicely. Before we wrap, I'm going to circle back on some of the stuff we talked about earlier. Yeah. We've seen the kind of the BIRB strategy pump and pull back at this point. We're back at levels that we were at pre-show, where we were saying, hey, maybe this is time to buy. But like, this is like an interesting mechanic. We're watching it play out in real time. So the token pumped. The birds sold a bunch of birds, bought a bunch of birds as well. I think they're net down like 10 birds on the day or something. I mean, they've sold a ton of these overall. But now, like, the floor is retracing, and then the next leg up for these is going to be at this like 4.2 ETH floor, 4.3 ETH floor.
Gotcha.
So like it could be a bit away before the next big push. Moonbirds pulled back under 4. Token pulled back after these buys. So like you're sitting here, you're like, okay, well maybe there's not this next buy event for a little bit longer. I'll be watching this for a potential dip because I don't think Moonbirds are done.
No.
I don't want to buy now because we just like had that event or like an event where we started like selling off a decent amount of these. $3.8 million in volume over the last 24 hours. 1.1 of that coming over the last 6 hours. So like that volume number, like with these tokens, all volatility is good because they're acquiring more NFTs essentially.
Yeah, I like this. I'm waiting for a pullback on that BIRB. And I think, you're right. I think, obviously we just had an announcement and there's just about no more bullish announcement than a token, is there? So it's obviously ramped up. The price went up about $2,000 just in about 10 minutes. So these will start to run, going to Punk. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's PUNKStrategy, man. This is insane, isn't it?
Yeah, so
158
if you're just listening, we have the PunkStrategy chart pulled up on all the volume from the BIRB strategy. This thing is now hitting new all-time highs, currently sitting at $158 million market cap on the extra volatility.
Insane.
Yeah, so like if you're in one of them, it's PunkStrategy, but like, I mean, I've said this before, I was wrong. Like it was like 70. I was like, okay, like maybe not, maybe wait for a pullback, but like this thing doesn't want to give you any kind of major pullback on this, which is just crazy. You've had some fun events where you've bought, you've had a chance to buy, but like it's been up and to the right.
It's so hard to, with these sort of ones, it's just so hard to predict what it's going to do. That's what's so, but I guess that's kind of the great thing about it as well, because there's no ceiling. You can't, like, you can't.
Well, I mean, we're trading at like 33x NAV. Like, I mean, you could say these are all 10x priced off, and this should really be a $14 million token. Like, you can make that argument. So, like, so while this thing is like absolutely cooking, like it's held up by, you know, belief and speculation.
Yeah,
so keep going, and like but it's also, I think at some point it's gonna get hard to justify buying this because you're paying a 10% in, 10% out tax. You're buying right now at 141 million, so really you're buying at 155 million, and then when you sell it at 200 million, you're selling it at 180 million. So like 155 to 180 is that range, when really, you know, a normal trade would be 140 to 200. So like when you start looking at these numbers, it becomes harder to like invest at higher valuations. So
yeah, it makes it a lot harder to swing trade it as well if you're copping a total of 20% tax on the in and out.
Yeah,
and I've been in coins like that before. It makes it a lot trickier to get returns, especially like you were saying at these higher market caps. Maybe it goes way higher, but someone like me, when I start to look at this, I start to go, oh, like with that tax in there and at 141 million, but hey, look, we might speak next week and this could be at 500 million. I don't know, man. Like bull runs do crazy things, and we've seen some coins do really stupid stuff that shouldn't have done stupid stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of that time of the bull run where I've got to try and turn off my sensibility a little bit. I know Greeny's starting to get a lot more degen now, and I've been a bit resistant to it. I've sort of been kind of just sticking with the majors and PENGU and things like that. But yeah, with the market that's this hot at the moment, obviously with Bitcoin, you know, pumping again and Q4 looking great, it could be that time of the market, like I was saying, where you just throw darts at a board and everything you hit's going to send, man. Because looking at those charts, everything's green now, just about. So everyone must be feeling pretty good, and people get silly around this time. So yeah, just remember to take profit, guys. But I'm excited, bro. I think we're in for a great Q4, great Q1 26. I know there's a few people talking about maybe the bull run even goes into Q2 26. So we could still be. I've been saying to Greeny, I'm like, man, I need a holiday. I've been full time since 21, and I've been really locked in since 23. And I'm like, man, for me now, the ultimate outcome would be a Q4 pump. I get to sell by Christmas and just have a month off, but I don't know if the market's going to let me have a holiday, Ray. I think it's going to keep me here into Q1, Q2. So I think these bags under my eyes are going to have to stay a little bit longer, and my wife's going to have to put up with me being in front of the computer another 6 months if she wants the kitchen. Because I don't know, man. What are your thoughts? Are you thinking? Give me your take, Ray. Are we Q4 topping? Or are you thinking we go deeper into 26?
I think that the 4-year cycle is broken. I think that there's too many tailwinds. I think that we top when we start thinking about midterms. I think there's going to be some fear and uncertainty around midterms.
Yeah.
And I think that once midterms settle and Democrats prevail, which I think is the likely scenario, and we don't see an immediate attack on crypto, or if we see like policy softening on crypto, I think that we see another new all-time high then. So I think we're going to be like free and clear this year. We might see some turbulence in 26. And then I think we're going to be like free and clear and completely broken from the 4-year cycle, barring black swans.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm all right with that. I'll take that. Yeah. So basically never take a holiday again. It's just, we're just going to.
Well, I think there's going to be times where it's crazier than others. I don't think we're ever going to see 2021 replay itself. Like, I don't think we're ever going to be in that area where the money is so free to be picked up. Like, I jumped into crypto and started picking up money off the table immediately, and people have been there for multiple cycles. And I don't think that's going to be like the case coming out.
Totally agree. Yeah, totally
Or
agree.
where just people can like the tooling, the MEV, everything is just so everything's so much better right now that it becomes harder to find like asymmetric plays like there were back then. So
it's started to have an edge now, isn't it? With so many people having those bots and tools. I remember back in 22 when we were trading sort of ETH meme coins, we were doing everything manually on Uniswap. There were no bots, so you could get an edge quite quickly back then. Whereas now every kid down the street's got a bot, so it's like someone like me, an edge I used to have has been removed. So that's why I actually haven't been trading too many low cap meme coins lately, just because I found my edge had kind of been lost. And on top of that, I sort of thought Solana meme coins had kind of cannibalized each other to a point where my hit rate had just got too poor to bother sort of effing around with it. But yeah, I think the bull run at the moment, the stage we're at, I think we're in silly season, and I think I've got to throw that sort of theory out the window, just start to throw some money at some stuff, because I think it's the yee-haw time.
Yeah, I mean, I remember looking at this page on Etherscan constantly during last run, which is contracts deployed, looking for scanning this for new free mints or whatever could potentially be a launch. And now there's 25,000 contracts deployed every day. So in 2021, 2022, like you were like able to get a little bit of an edge, like looking at raw data, and now it just becomes much harder to do these things. We've been running for over an hour, even with our late start. So we've got to get moving. I want to give you one big shout out, Craig. Thank you for joining. I've had a ton of fun today. I loved your energy. I loved your takes. We've had a bunch of fun. Before we head out, can you let us know where people can find you and give us a little bit of information about Greeny's Trade Group?
Yeah, sure. So obviously, if you want to listen to our stream, we're GC Crypto TV. That's on X. And then on top of that, you'll find us on YouTube, obviously just Craigscoinpurse. And then if you want to jump into a pretty good trading group, that's obviously GTG, which you can find through, I think, my X, and on top of that through Greeny's X, or look, obviously Greeny Trades. Obviously, that's a great trading group. That's where I hang out. That's where Greeny hangs out. We've traded obviously for quite a long time, but that's where you'll find us. But certainly if you want to listen to us stream, GC Crypto TV is where you'll find us, guys. We stream for you guys in America Sunday to Thursday. So we front run the market on a Sunday, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or for the Australians who might be listening, I've got a couple of friends probably tuning in. That is 9 a.m. for my time. So yeah, man, Sunday to Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we stream. So he's on holiday, so I'm kind of running the show at the moment. But actually, speaking of, we're going to Yeet giveaway tomorrow, $1,000. So definitely pull up there, guys. We'll be giving that away again tomorrow. So yeah, Ray, I just want to say before we go, big thank you for getting me on. Like I said, I've been watching you guys for a long time, so it was quite a surreal moment to actually jump on here with you. So I appreciate you getting me on to be able to. I just love talking crypto, man. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm a big fan of crypto, dude. I love this, and I want to spread the good word. So happy to come on anytime and chat to you, my man.
Absolutely. Thanks again. And thank you all for listening today. We do this podcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can catch us on all major podcasting platforms. Watch us back on YouTube. See what we're talking about in real time.